I highly recommend everybody have one of these. It's a copy of the Constitution. Article 4, Section 1, the very first thing it says, full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. Pretty much just saying, hey, if something is passed in Alabama, North Dakota has to follow it too, or respect it too. So court cases at the state level are respected throughout the entirety of the nation. I've been instructed by my mentors to derive or draw from Alabama's Uniform Power of Attorney Act by using the full faith and credit clause of the supreme law of the land, then everybody gets to enjoy the wonderful fruits that came from the Alabama Uniform Power of Attorney Act. The main authority that I'm deriving my education to my clients and my followers regarding this idea of power of attorney. I'm going to Wikipedia now, so we can just know what power of attorney even is. It's a written authorization to represent or act on another's behalf in private affairs, which may be financial or regarding health or welfare, business, or some other legal matter. So the person authorizing the act is the principal, grantor, or donor of this power, right? And then the one authorized to act is the agent, the attorney, or in some common law jurisdictions, the attorney in fact. In order to give power of attorney, you have to be of your right mind. You have to be able to, articulate at least what you're trying to delegate to, right? Otherwise, it begins to get pretty predatory. Like if somebody just came through my doorway today and was just like, hey, sign this piece of paper. Or like if I got knocked out and was in a hospital setting and had no idea really like where I even was. And then all of a sudden I'm surrounded by like 2 police officers who are like, hey, sign this piece of paper, And then I do. And then they try to use that as some kind of power of attorney that is able to, so then they get to, what would you call it, administer my private affairs. That's not very in good faith, we would say. That comes down to like the capacity. The capacity of the grantor needs to be honorable there for sure, have the requisite mental capacity is what we would call it. So in some power of attorney, the grantor states that that they wish the document to remain in effect after they become incapacitated. That's an interesting concept. That would be called a durable or lasting power of attorney, which brings us, because usually powers of attorney only happen for a limited scope and are completed and null and void upon completion of the task, right? Hey, I give you power of attorney to go down to the grocery store and get groceries for me on my behalf. Okay, perfect. The person does it and they go and get the groceries and they deliver them back to me. Now that power of attorney is finished. It is done. They can't use it again. They can't use it for something else. It's done. However, in certain situations, it becomes necessary to have a lasting or durable power of attorney, which would continue. Like, hey, I grant you the ability to get me groceries every week until the day that I die. And then when I die, I want you to get them on behalf of my name to my children as well. Something like that. And in that situation, of course, you would have there would be a trust situation set up because we're not administering dead people's estates like the government tends to do sometimes. Anyway, we're having our own trust set up so that structure can be administered by the trustee. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't heard of, there's like a documentary on Netflix where it's this woman set up a durable trust, power of attorney for her dog. And all of these people work for the beneficiary, which is a dog. And it's not even the same dog anymore because they've rebred the dog because the dog will die, right? And so then they get a new dog of the same genetics and it's all written in the trust. And so it's like up to 40 people, maybe even more, are all working for this dog who lives in like a palace. It's very funny. It's called Gunther's Riches or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, very neat though. You can actually create a lasting empire for a dog even if you have your stuff set up correctly. So, pretty neat stuff. And I teach exactly how to do something exactly like that. It's called asset protection in a private ecclesiastical trust that's foreign to the purview of the government. So if you want to know more about that and how to maybe administer your private affairs that are not interrupted or interfered with by the government, maybe you want to know about that. I have a link in the bio where you can set up a discovery session with me and decide if that is for you. And if $47 is too much for such a discovery session, then tell me, use your blabber and say, hey, I would prefer to have a discount or a full scholarship. I'm in a situation. Would you consider that? And then we'll go from there, right? So anyway, I'm here to help however I possibly can.